One of the main components of SCDOT's strategic plan is making project delivery as efficient as possible. The starting point for successful project delivery is preparing a well-written draft scope of services. Based on data from SCDOT's Professional Services Contracting Office, the preparation of the scope of services has the greatest inefficiency in the consultant procurement process. Delays in the scoping phase are largely due to the lack of standardized scope of services template that all project managers can use as a starting point to develop the initial draft of the scope of services. Creation of a template will help clearly define project requirements and consultant services, resulting in faster project delivery, improved project understanding, and reduced contract modifications. Therefore, SCDOT commissioned Clemson University to conduct a research study that accomplished the following goals.
The first goal was to update and streamline the SCDOT's current scope of services process. We collected secondary data from state DOTs, past studies, and scholarly publications to evaluate the current state of practice in developing scope of services. Interviews were conducted with SCDOT's subject matter experts from each department involved in providing SCDOT input for the project-specific scope of services. With this information, the team updated the scope of services by streamlining the scope language for consistency, eliminating redundancy of scope items, and developing a comprehensive scope of services. The second goal was to identify other state DOT project development process best practice. Structured interviews were conducted with 7 comparable state DOTs concerning their scope of services process and professional services procurement. In addition, an online survey was conducted with the American Council of Engineering Companies South Carolina members. After completion of the survey, interviews with a group of consultants were conducted based on suggestions from SCDOT. Our team summarized the data and findings to support development of the scope of services best practice. The final goal was to identify a number of project attributes that affect the scope. A list of 47 variables was created that required input to determine which tasks, clauses, or deliverables are suitable for inclusion in the project scope. These variables were then used to create a decision tree. To aid the user, an online interface was developed that takes inputs on the decision tree and returns a customized, editable scope of services document as a starting point for negotiations.
Clemson created an internal scoping tool that allows the decision tree variables to be linked to a project-specific scope. These decision tree variables are both dependent and independent and serves a checklist to ensure all SCDOT project teams are covering the same topics during scoping meetings. After the scoping meeting, the PM uses the online tool to check the box of the decision tree variables required for the project, and a customized Word document is returned. For example, if the DOT performs field surveys in-house, the decision tree variable for field survey would not be checked, and that would eliminate the appropriate scope language from the rest of the scope of services. While still in the piloting phase, we have already seen increases in efficiency and heard feedback about how useful the tool is. For me personally, using the scoping tool has gone from days of collecting Word documents and compiling them into a single document to literally minutes of checking the boxes, and then out comes a customized Word document for the scope.
Now that SCDOT has the first version of the internal scoping tool, we are able to make plans to improve the contract negotiation process through a 2-part Phase 2 research project. The first part is a continuation of Phase 1, as we understand that improving performance and creating a process to update and maintain the scoping tool are crucial. Part 2 explores how the scope of services can be linked to SCDOT's man-hour estimating template that is too cumbersome and time-consuming. In addition, we see opportunities for SCDOT to collect historical data through the new man-hour estimating template that will assist the PMs. All of these efforts will further improve the efficiency of contract negotiations with the goal of shortening contract negotiation time. It is with a heavy heart SCDOT says thank you to the Clemson research team. Dr. Dennis Bausman passed away as the final report was being written for this project. He was a big advocate for this research project and truly believed in the importance of SCDOT improving our contract negotiation process. All of us that worked with Dr. Bausman on research projects through the years enjoyed working with him. He will be missed by our whole community.
When I worked with Dr. Bausman, I was impressed by his work ethic and his ability to collaborate and also to bring out the best in people.
His enthusiasm for wanting to help SCDOT improve their own internal process was something that caught excitement for everyone working on the team.
So I always enjoyed working with him. He was actually my mentor at Clemson. We had this connection, work on this project, and I'm excited to just think of the times that we worked together for future experiences and for future research.
Oh, I feel like Dr. Bausman will be very proud of the outcome that we have now.
He was really excited about this whole project, and also I think he was excited to see this project expand and fly to next phases.
He would have so much passion for, hey, let's take it to that next level. It was a gift to work with him to see that excitement for just process improvement. As engineers, that's what we do. We find problems and we want to find solutions, and I think he epitomized the best of being an engineer in that way.